All right, welcome. Today, we are jumping right into one of the biggest, noisiest debates in all of tech, front-end frameworks. If you're building anything for the web, I guarantee you've found yourself asking this one massive question.
I mean, it's the question, right? React, Angular, one of the hot new kids on the block. It can feel completely overwhelming. But here's the thing, and this is kind of the secret to this whole explainer, you're probably asking the wrong question.
Exactly. This really gets to the heart of it. It's not about finding the one best framework to rule them all. It's about finding the right framework for your specific project. In other words, we're looking for the right tool for the right job. Okay, let's get into it.
So, to find our way through this framework maze, we first need to actually understand the map. So let's just start with the absolute basics. Think of a framework like a toolbox, a really, really good toolbox. Instead of having to build a car from raw metal and rubber, you get a pre-built chassis, an engine, and a clear set of instructions. They give you this solid foundation so you're not reinventing the wheel every single time.
And believe me, in 2026, these toolboxes are more important than ever. We're building some seriously demanding stuff now. We're talking AI-driven apps, Web3 projects, real-time interfaces that have to be lightning fast. Frameworks are pretty much essential to deliver the speed and the user experience everyone expects, like yesterday.
All right, let's meet the heavyweights. Yeah, these are the big players, the established giants that power some of the biggest applications you probably use every single day.
So, in one corner, you've got React from Meta. It's more of a flexible library that gives you the core tools you need to build a UI. And in the other corner, Angular from Google. It's a complete, all-in-one framework that gives you everything right out of the box. And they come at the problem from completely different angles.
Okay, so React, its whole deal is flexibility. You get these awesome reusable components and access to this massive ecosystem of tools. But here's the catch. With all that freedom, you have to make more decisions. Which router? Which state management library? That can add a layer of complexity right there.
Then you have Angular. Think of it as the ultimate workhorse for those massive, enterprise-level applications. It's opinionated, which means it makes a lot of the decisions for you. It kind of says, this is how we're going to do things around here. That's amazing for big teams that need consistency. But yeah, the learning curve is steeper and it can feel a bit rigid.
So, okay, those are the big guns. But what if you don't need a tank to go to the grocery store? What if what you really care about is just pure, unadulterated speed and just making things simpler for yourself?
And that's where the challengers come in. These frameworks were basically born out of a reaction to the complexity of the giants. Their mission? Speed. Period. Svelte is, well, it's kind of magic. Its whole secret sauce is that it's actually a compiler. So instead of shipping a big library to your users, it just transforms your code into super tiny, optimized JavaScript. It completely skips the virtual DOM middleman that other frameworks use, so it's incredibly fast. The only trade-off is its ecosystem is still growing.
SolidJS is another speed demon, but it gets there in a totally different way. It uses this idea called fine-grained reactivity. Imagine you have a huge document. Instead of rewriting the whole thing for one typo, SolidJS just goes in with a tiny pen and fixes that one single letter. It's surgical.
It feels a lot like React, which is cool, but it just hasn't been adopted as widely yet. All right, now for a different category altogether. Let's call them the specialists. These are frameworks that are built to solve very specific, very common, and very valuable problems. Things like SEO or getting content out to users as fast as humanly possible.
You can think of Next.js as React on steroids. It takes all the good stuff from React and adds critical features for performance and SEO. It can pre-build pages on the server so they load instantly, and that's something search engines absolutely love. If you're building an e-commerce site with React, honestly, Next.js is pretty much the default choice these days.
Now, Astro's core idea is it's brilliant in its simplicity. It tries to send your browser zero JavaScript by default. It treats your website like a mostly static page, and then you can create these little islands of interactivity exactly where you need them. This makes sites load at blazing speeds, but it's not really designed for something super complex and app-like.
And finally, let's look at something that's, well, it's totally rethinking how we do things. This might just be a glimpse of the future.
Qwik's huge, game-changing idea is called resumability. See, most frameworks have to do this thing called hydration, which takes time. Think of it like waking up a frozen computer. Qwik skips that entirely. It's like the app was never asleep to begin with. The result is near instant startup times, but it does force you to think about your code in a whole new way.
Whoa, okay, I know that was a ton of information. So let's just pause and pull it all together with this cheat sheet. You can really see the whole picture here, right? You've got React for flexibility, Angular for that all-in-one enterprise muscle. Svelte and SolidJS are your speed demons, Next.js and Astro are the problem solvers, and Qwik is the innovator. Each one has a clear purpose and a clear trade-off.
So after all that, we're back to the big question. How in the world do you actually choose one? Let's wrap this all up with a really simple, practical guide to making that call.
But first, I want you to burn this number into your brain. Never, ever underestimate the power of what your team already knows. Seriously, sticking with a framework they're already great at can make your project move 30 to 40% faster. That is huge. Sometimes the best tool really is the one you already have.
Okay, so with that in mind, here are the 4 big questions you got to ask yourself before you commit. First, how big is this thing? Are we building a shed or a skyscraper? Second, what do we need in terms of speed and user experience? Third, and this is a big one, what does my team already know how to use? And finally, how are we going to keep this thing running and growing years from now?
And that's really what it all boils down to. Your project is a building, and the framework you choose is its foundation. So ask yourself, what are you building? Is it a skyscraper that needs the industrial strength of a Titan, like React or Angular? Is it a sleek race car that needs the raw speed of a Challenger, like Svelte or SolidJS? Or are you designing something brand new, building with the mind-bending architecture of an innovator like Qwik? The choice is yours.